Yep.
Okay, next then. There's been some data mining and stuff. The whole situation for the Judgment cinematic. So this is going to be something.
Yep.
Blizzard confirms Epilogue chapter arrives week of 29th of March, so very soon. Yeah. Right. Sylvanas' fate then.
Yep, we know what it is.
Yeah, so basically, and obviously spoilers here, but Sylvanas is in Tyronda's charge. Tyronda's like the figurehead for the people who, were the greatest victims to Sylvanas. Pelagos is saying, right, time of your judgment's at hand. But this is Pelagos, so there can be no true justice without compassion. And I see your deeds bear the mark of the jailer's influence, an influence we failed to contain. I got pushback for saying that this was the case, but it's like, well, she was obviously acting under, influences.
Yeah, well,
which is not a massive mitigating factor, but it is important to note.
Yeah, well,
and she does say, importantly, Blizzard aren't just rolling with that. Sylvanas says that the jailer did not control her, that her actions were hers alone. Basically, the jailer sowed a whole bunch of seeds that, all this stuff that kind of just worked really well with her trauma to get her to do those things. It's like she wasn't dominated, but the soul split did change what she was dealing with upstairs. But she says her actions were hers. She accepts the consequences. She does not expect mercy. Then Pelagos is like, all right, well, he got answer to Tyronda. Yep. Tyronda is just like, hey, yo, what's going on? This ain't you. What game are you playing with me now? But no, yes, the Sylvanas that she hunted would never submit, but Tyronda's like, oh shit, this might be genuine. Sylvanas says death would be a merciful end. To which Tyronda says, there will be no peace for you. Below lies the maw, and it will be there where your penance begins. An unjust fate which you doomed to, which you doomed so many. Every soul lost in its depths, betrayed or condemned, you shall find and send forth to the Arbiter. So it's essentially the situation where, and this is kind of crazy when you think about it, every mortal that died since Argus was defeated in the entire universe.
Yep.
Now, that said, the entire universe, that may just be Azeroth. It may be one of the very few lights of life actually left.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they're not going to hard confirm for a long time, which is how many planets did Sargeras not cut into?
Yeah. But basically, she's just going to have to go and fish out all these souls that incorrectly went to the Maw. And that's a lot of work. Now, you could really read that as being like, cool, Sylvanas just got to do this infinitely for the end of time. Because it's going to take that long.
Yeah.
But you could also pull the thing of like, hey, time operates differently in the Shadowlands. It can be a vast amount of time in the Shadowlands, but you pop out of the Shadowlands and it's like being 10 minutes. Yeah. All that like crazy time torture that Jaina and co underwent at the very start of this expansion.
Yep.
And basically, she's going to be toiling under the eyes of the owl. That is Tyronda's owl.
She's not going to have her owl. That's sad.
Yeah, scouring every darkened reach until the final soul is free and you are all that remains. You are all that remains and my people. One. Oh yeah, the final soul is free and you are all that remains and my people.
That must just be wrong.
What? Oh, okay, I must just be wrong. Until there is peace for the souls of your victims, this is how you shall bring renewal to your victims.
Renewal, that's the key word.
Yeah, but it can never ease all you have done.
There is.
Talks. Sylvanas says, however long it takes, it shall be done. Everyone agrees? There we go.
Tyronda's in the Arbiter.
Now, is this bad? Is this good? I will say, this is as good as it possibly could be.
This is...
Absolutely.
This is as good as it possibly could be, except for the one small detail that is... We were doing that the whole time. Surely, between all the players playing the game getting 20 a week, there can't be that many left for her to pick up. So she must be done in a couple hours. This is like 6 hours community service. That's it. We'll get into it later because there's some details from the book that expand on this that we have from the person who did the AMA on Reddit after getting it in their bookstore then reading it instead of working. Good job. Very helpful. But I think this is it's awkward because it comes across like a punishment, but it doesn't really feel like. It feels like she's getting off very easy. That's one thing that I think annoys me. It's the repentance is all fine and all, but it's like it doesn't seem like too much of a punishment once there's a couple little details that you add in. As to what you would do for punishment, I don't know.
It's tricky because
that's my feeling. Where it's like, does this feel great considering it's not you're not bringing these people back to life. You're just going, oh well, I'm taking you out of the maw to go to where you were supposed to go when you died, which doesn't. It's not really renewal. It's like, it's like, oh well, you smashed that vase, so at least clean it up. That's your.
Well, that's
your penance. You clean up all the shards of glass, but the vase isn't back, and you aren't punished all that much. That's what it feels like to me.
In reality, what is the best way out of this? It is to say, hey, reformed Kyrian, you guys actually fucked up a lot of stuff. Yeah. So how about you go in and ferry all these souls back to the Arbiter so we can deal with her properly? Like, why are the Kyrians not doing this? So if you think about this too hard, it can fall over. However, for what Sylvanas can do and like how she can be punished, in a way where at least something productive comes out of it for everyone, this is like one of the few options that works. Like if you kill Sylvanas, what happens? I guess she just goes to the maw as a soul.
No, she dies forever, probably.
Or something.
Because she's dying in the Shadowlands.
Nothing happens, right, if you just kill Sylvanas. And what else is she going to do? So I think this is just about as good as it could have been.
Yeah, although I do see a lot of people with a very good point, which is poor Grayman.
Yeah.
Again, will never have any
Sylvanas!
Never get any form of vengeance, never get any form of peace. He doesn't even get to see this happen. They'll just show up and go, he'll be like, where's Sylvanas? Well, okay. Let's be generous to Grayman. He'll go, where's Anduin? Oh, he's safe. He looks a bit broken, but we'll get to that. Where's Sylvanas? She's in hell. That's a bit sad, but whatever. As opposed to him getting...
She's in hell, and my son is a blue thing?
He's broke. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I think that's as good as they could do. Like, saying Disenchanter like Arthas, it's like, that's not particularly productive.
Yeah.
Though, and like, it kind of doesn't really fit with the... it fits with vengeance, not justice. There's a bit of me that just thinks this whole thing is supposed to be like some sort of allegory for how busted the American prison system is.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that rant to another time.
Yeah. No, well, I might as well, when we're talking about it, might as well get into it. In the book, one of the thing that really pisses me off about it is that, that doesn't really piss me off. That's hyperbolic.
What makes me furious.
What slightly annoys me and sort of leans me on this isn't harsh enough is that she's sitting there going, well, I accept this penance. Fair enough. Oh, but I can find my boyfriend because I don't know where he is. One of the things she does when she lands in the maw is she's like, oh, well, I will do my job, of course, but I'm going to look for Nathanos. Which when it comes down to the entirety of her, like, basically when you look at her character arc as portrayed in the book completely, all of her motivations, she is in fact getting a pretty okay end. Not a great one, but she's honestly basically getting the end she wanted. Which means, to me, I'm like, why is she getting off so easy? Because that's what it ultimately is. Because she's going to find Nathanos, and, no matter what happens, she'll likely just hang around with him in the maw forever. And by her standards, she's pretty okay with that. Or like, what? That's a fairly good ending for you.
Yeah. It is also just sort of tied up in a bow. And there is also that thing of like, is Sylvanas just going to be there for such a long time that it's like, may as well never see her until a very advanced stage in the Warcraft plot. Perhaps like near the very end, the sorts of times when Illidan will return.
Yeah.
So I really feel like we're just going to see so little of either of those characters for such a long time. And I think that's what the game needs. I know a lot of the Sylvanas fans will want a lot more Sylvanas. I'd say at least it seems you're getting a Dark Ranger questline. That's really good.
Maybe. Yeah.
And you know what? You might really want Sylvanas right now. But if we can wait long enough, and they can bring Sylvanas back properly...
Yeah, with a point.
In a way where, most of the players don't just go like, oh god, we're so tired of her. Yeah. That'll probably mean good Sylvanas in future, rather than frustrating Sylvanas forever.
Indeed.
So that's basically what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed.
Yeah, Daniel, exactly that. Put her on the same shelf as Illidan. That's it.
Yeah.
Totally.